I've realized lately that, it's making sure it's recording. Delete, 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 delete. I've realized recently that, well, this is how my project began. 2 years ago in October, not last October, but October 2013, at the latest, I walked away from a lot of people. First mentally, then physically. I stopped talking to the majority of people who said they were my friends and started living my life, like the real life that I lead. I have no desire to talk about, let me just get pissed off quickly, because already you want to talk about loneliness. I'm not lonely. I'm alone. Those are two very different things. That's what I realized immediately. It was that nobody gave a shit. Nobody knocked on the door to say hello, even. But I'm not the one with the sickness. That's the thing. Like, I take my meds emphatically. It's just I'm on different meds. I'm on meds they don't want. I'm on meds they can't control me through. Like, my mouth mews. My mouth mews, you wish. My mouth moves like a normal individual. Like, you see this mouthpiece? Yeah, go back in old videos and you can even see that mouth, like, being held back by strange antipsychotics. Now, I take antipsychotics, but they're newer ones. I take real antipsychotics. Like, I take the antipsychotics, but they're newer ones. But I take the antipsychotic that I took at Eckerd, and no one can deal with me suddenly being the kid I was at Eckerd. That sucks. It really sucks, but that's the kid everybody really wants to know. It's very sad when people are holding me back from being who I really am. Like, the individual that I am today is the individual that I decided to be and wanted to be and was gonna be. Yeah, all of it. Like, okay, so I can just sit there and produce something very important. That's incredible. When something's produced for me, that is me, I get upset. If I'm having ideas, if I have like an idea in my head that's humongous and PhD worthy, and I like watch it thrown at me through a museum I worked through, I have major issues. Okay, and 620 in the Dolly Museum in my face, not cool. Like, who got paid? At that point, I'm actually gonna say who got paid. I'm like rich as shit, and I'm not asset rich either. I'm life rich. I make the right wishes rich. Like, go ahead and try me, but like, I'm filthy rich. No, I'm not filthy rich. I didn't get my money. I didn't get my art in any way. Some of my pieces of art, I would turn around to the artist and be like, do you want filthy money? And they wanted filthy money. And if you take $100 bill out of your wallet and smell it, you can smell the filth on it and know how many people have actually snorted cocaine through that 100, let alone the one. That's when it gets rough. That's when you see the filth. And I'm pointing an arrow right at it. That's when you see the filth, is when you start smelling cocaine on a $1 bill. That's filth. How do I know what filth is? I analyze the impact of filth, even. But that's not me. That's not my life. That's not my life's work. Things like this is my life's work. And this is when I'm going to tell my friends, you have a sickness, okay? And if you have this sickness, I would just do exactly what you're doing, apparently. You can't come to me. You can't come to me with your bottle of X, Y, and Z, or your blunt of X, Y, and Z, or your extra special helpful Molly drug of choice, even. The reality is you're staying away from me because of your sickness, not mine. I can't take away your sickness. It's not that I won't. It's not that I won't even help. It's that I cannot take your sickness away. Do I fuck up? Every day. Am I anti this and anti that? Absolutely not. But if you have a sickness that can't be cured, that's your sickness, and it has nothing to do with me. But I'm going to show you some proof of some strange shit that's happening to me, like in real life, and you're going to be like, oh, no. Psychosis. Let me tell you this. When I showed my psychologist, it's a psychologist, okay, PhD Stetson, sadly, yeah, doesn't that suck? A Stetson PhD psychologist. Sorry for being a douche in your face. Like, sucks that you're the douche that asked me the question initially. Yeah. She watches the button pusher, like, right with her right hand when everybody in my life knows that 1, 2, 3, 4 of us are at least lefties. Like, I am a lefty. Yeah, writes with her right hand like a 7-year-old, talking about naughty things that she doesn't want to know. What do you think she did? Like, the case was closed at that moment. So when you get to this video, go back and understand. Like, pieces of me were smashed into pieces even by the usages of the words Lee and LeeLee, and you allowed yourself to do that. That was your sickness. Now, you think that's a spiteful look? That's vengeance, okay? But vengeance is a reality in my life. Like, the whole faction, the whole reality of Anonymous is, like, sadly, it's on the vendetta thing. Like, it's a vendetta. Like, a vendetta and vengeance are very close, and I have a vendetta. Like, that's, like, a big portion of my life is to analyze the vendetta within Anonymous. But would you ever understand that? And would you then take that? That's why I timestamped to myself, so you can stop stealing me from me. However, then next, I go to my P.O. box, and I'm going to show you my P.O. box on the front of this magazine. It's the St. Pete Downtown January issue. Okay, this is the fucking information right here for my P.O. box. Now, I don't know who can tell me what's at 620 First Avenue South, but I know with Ronald Porter, who is one of the most amazing guys I've ever met, I did all my QFM hours. Like, I did the bird sanctuary the semester I failed at it or whatever, the year I failed at it, but then I went back and redid my senior year for the second or third or eighth time. And then when I actually got it done, I did it at 620 First Avenue South, which is www.studio620.org. Yeah, that's 620. But why does it say in this fucking booklet, the Dali Museum? Do you see that? Why does it say that? Why does it say that? Now, I know I've worked through that even in therapy. No, that job at the Dali Museum. I know Pedro, who doesn't know me for X, Y, and Z, no reasons. Yeah, it feels like it, though. Even if it's not, it feels like it still. And when it stops feeling like that is going to be when he decides to come to terms and peace with the fact that the reality has been smacked in his face 1,000,000 times by the people he knows of his life. But my sickness is not yours, and I take meds. Okay? Think that's my sickness? It's your problem. Your problem is your problem. But anyway, what does it say? The Dali Museum. And it says, and I quote, "The Invention as Art exhibit featuring more than 75 works by renowned genius Leonardo da Vinci has been added to the repertoire of special exhibits in March." Now, I want to know, first of all, how many people thought that I'd written that personally. Probably everyone. I want to know, second of all, who thought that I actually curated that exhibit. Yeah, that's the other half of the people. And, like, who even has a clue of how to put invention as art together with Da Vinci in a way that LeeLee can? Luckily, all those ideas, or that idea is still in my head because I can work it through the streets and graffiti. And I'm glad. I'm glad I can do that. Because most art historians cannot. So yeah. Next time you want to repeat quantum mechanics through my head, actually pull up the notes on the MIT, because grad level quantum mechanics isn't cute, but I love it. And why is it cause and sine? Like, why is sine like vertical? Like, why is it sin and it's vertical? And what's a bra? You tell me the humor in quantum mechanics when you give me a call. But have you? When was the last time you actually called me realistically and loved me for being me? Half past never? I already know that. I've known for like a year or two who gives a shit and who doesn't. And I'll tell you right now, the same people give a shit that always do. And that's the sad thing. I found a card recently from Kat, and she wrote it to me in jail, and on the back of it, you would be floored by the fact that Dro's number, Prozac's number, like, are still on the back. And I believe Whitney's also. Who's gonna call me next? I guess we'll see, but my number is vocal. Like, my number is probably viral. I am viral. Like, you can put Lee Atkins Pinellas, Lee Atkins, Florida, whatever. And find me in Google. Like, give it a rest, guys. Figure out what you do and do not know, and know the engine that you're looking at, search engine, or even social network, is something that my images are just running through like it's a huge machine. And then know that you want me to talk about the insanity inside my mind, or do you want me to go back to talking to the tree outside? Like, I'd love to talk about that tree outside. No, talk to, of course I talk to trees. I kiss trees. I'm a tree hugger, and I love it. What's wrong with that? Like, what is wrong with that? Like, you guys want to talk about the insanity in my mind? So many tears, and I say this again, would not have been what it was without Hennessy and alcohol and fucking bullets. And I can tell you right now, I'm always going to be a bullet.